Who is this I see? Oh, my dear fellow Ivan Bassiliyitch. Oh, I'm so glad to see you. But this is a surprise. How are you?
Thank you. How are you?
Oh, so, my friend. Please, sit down. It isn't right to forget one's neighbor, you know. But tell me why all this ceremony? Dress clothes, white gloves and all. Are you on your way to some engagement, my good fellow?
No, I have no engagement except with you, Stepen Stepanovitch.
But why in evening clothes, my friend? This isn't New Year's.
You see, it's simply this, that I've come to you, Stepen Stepanovitch, to trouble you with a request. It's not the first time I've had the honor of turning to you for assistance, and you've always, I beg your pardon, I'm a bit excited. I'll take a drink of water first, my dear Stepen Stepanovitch.
He's come to ask for money. I won't give him any. What is it then, dear Lamar? See what a commotion you caused coming here like this. What is it, Lamar?
So nervous. That noise.
It's the Russians are coming.
What is it then? What is it then, dear Lomov?
You see, dear Stepanovitch, pardon me, Stepanovitch. You're just terribly nervous, as you'd be so good to see. What I mean is to say is you're the only one that can help me, though I don't deserve it, and I have no right whatsoever to make this request of you.
Oh, don't beat about the bush, my dear fellow. Tell me.
Well, in a moment. Here it is, then. I've come to ask for the hand of your daughter, Natalia Stepanovna.
Angel, Ivan Bassiliyitch. Say that once again. I didn't quite hear it.
I have the honor to beg.
My dear man, I am so happy that everything is everything. I have wanted this to happen for so long. It has been my dearest wish. Oh, and I have always loved you, my dear fellow, as my own son. May God give you his blessings and his grace. And I always wanted this to happen. But why am I standing here like a blockhead? Well, I am completely dumbfounded with pleasure, completely dumbfounded. My whole being, I'll call Natalia.
Dear Stepen Stepanovitch, what do you think? May I hope for Natalia Stepanovna's acceptance?
Really a fine boy like you. And you think she won't accept you on the minute, lovesick as a cat and all that? I'll get her.
Well, cold. My whole body's trembling as I was going to take an examination. But the thing is to settle matters. If a person meditates too much or hesitates or talks about it, waits for an ideal, a true love, never gets it. Oh, Bert, it's cold in here. Now, Natalia is an exceptional housekeeper. Not at all bad looking. Well educated. What more can I ask? Oh, I'm so excited. My ears are roaring. Oh. But not to marry, that won't do. In the first place, I'm 35. A critical age, you might say. In the second place, I must live a well-regulated life. I have a weak heart, continued palpitation. And I'm very sensitive, always getting excited. My lips begin to tremble and the pulse in my right temple throbs terribly. But the worst of all is sleep. I hardly lie down and begin to doze before something in my left side begins to pull and tug. Something begins to hammer in my left shoulder and then my head. I jump up like a madman, walk about a little, lie down again. The moment I fall asleep, I have a terrible cramp in my side. So it is all night long. It's awful.
Ah, it's you. Papa said to go in, that there was a dealer in there who'd come to buy something. Good afternoon, Ivan Bassiliyitch.
Oh, good day, my dear Natalia Stepanovna.
You must pardon me for wearing my apron and this old dress. We were working today. Oh, why haven't you come to see us oftener? You've not been here for so long. Sit down. Won't you have something to eat?
Thank you, I've just had lunch.
How about smoke? Here are the matches. Today it's so beautiful, and only yesterday it rained so hard that the workmen couldn't do a stroke of work. How many bricks have you cut? Think of it. I was so anxious that I had the whole field mowed, and now I'm sorry I did it because I'm afraid the hay will rot, and it would have been better had I waited. But what on earth is this? You are in evening clothes. The latest cut. Are you on your way to a ball? You seem to be looking better, too. Really? Why do you dress so gorgeously?
Well, you see, my dear Natalia Stepanovna, it's simply this. I've decided to ask you to listen to me. Of course, it'll be a surprise, and indeed, you'll be angry, but how cold it is.
What is it? What?
Well, I'll try to be brief. My dear Natalia Stepanovna, as you know, for many years, since my childhood, I've had the honor to know your family. My poor aunt and her husband, from whom, as you know, I inherited the estate, always had the greatest respect for your father and your poor mother. The Lomovs and the Tschubukofs have been for decades on the friendliest, indeed the closest terms with each other. And furthermore, my property, as you know, adjoins your own. If you'll be so good to remember, my meadows touch your birch woods.
Pardon the interruption. You said my meadows? But are they yours?
Yeah, yes, they belong to me.
What nonsense. The meadows belong to us, not to you.
No, to me. Now, my dear Natalia Stepanovna.
Well, that is certainly news to me. How do they belong to you?
How? I'm speaking of the meadows lying between your birch woods and my bricker.
Yes, exactly. They belong to us.
No, you're mistaken, my dear Natalia Stepanovna. They belong to me.
Try to remember exactly, Ivan Bassiliyitch. Isn't that so long ago that you inherited them?
Long ago. As far back as I can remember, they've always belonged to us.
But that isn't true. You'll pardon my saying so.
It's all a matter of record, my dear Natalia Stepanovna. It's true that at one time the title of the meadows was disputed, but now everyone knows they belong to me. There's no room for discussion. Be so good as to listen. Be so good as just to listen. My aunt's grandmother put these meadows, free from all cost, into the hands of your father's grandfather's peasants for a certain time while they were making bricks for my grandmother. These people used the meadows free of cost for about 40 years, living there as they would on their own property. Later, however, when
There's not a word of truth in that. My grandfather and my great-grandfather, too, knew that the estate reached back to the swamp, so that the meadows belonged to us. What further discussion can there be? I can't understand it. This is most annoying.
I'll show you the papers, Natalia Stepanovna.
No, either you are joking or trying to lead me into a discussion. That's not at all nice. We have owned this property for nearly 300 years, and now, all at once, we hear that it doesn't belong to us. Ivan Bassiliyitch, you will pardon me, but I really can't believe my ears. As far as I'm concerned, the meadows are worth very little. In all, they don't contain more than 5 acres, and they are worth only a few hundred rubles, say 300. But the injustice of it all, the thing that affects me, that, say what you will, I can't bear injustice.
Only listen until I have finished, please. The peasants of your respected father's grandfather, as I have already had the honor to tell you, baked bricks for my grandmother. My aunt's grandmother wished to do them a favor, and then...
Grandfather, grandmother, aunt, I know nothing about them. All I know is that the meadows belong to us, and that ends the matter.
No, they belong to me.
And if you keep on explaining it for 2 days and put on 5 suits of evening clothes, the meadows are still ours. Ours! I don't want to take your property, but I refuse to give up what belongs to us.
Natalia Stepanovna, I don't need the meadows. I'm only concerned with the principle. If you're agreeable, I beg of you, accept them as a gift from me.
But I can give them to you, because they belong to me. This is very peculiar, Ivan Bassiliyitch. Until now, we have considered you as a very good neighbor and a good friend. Only last year, we lent you our threshing machine so that we couldn't thresh until November. And now you treat us like thieves? You offer to give me my own land? Excuse me, but neighbors don't treat each other that way. In my opinion, it's a very low trick, to speak frankly.
Oh, according to you, I'm a usurper then, am I? My dear lady, I have never appropriated other people's property, and I shall permit no one to accuse me of such a thing. The meadows are mine.
That's not the truth. They are mine.
Mine!
I'll prove it to you. This afternoon, I will send my reapers into the meadow.
What?
My reapers will be there today.
And I'll chase them off.
If you dare.
The meadows are mine, you understand? Mine.
Really? You needn't scream so. If you want to scream and snort and rage, you may do it at home. But here, please keep yourself within the limits of common decency.
My dear lady, if I were not suffering from palpitation of the heart and hammering of the arteries in my temples, I would deal with you very differently. The meadows belong to me.
Us.
Me.
What's going on here? What is he yelling about?
Papa, please tell this gentleman to whom the meadows belong. To us or to them.
Oh, my dear fellow, the meadows are ours.
But merciful heavens, Stepen Stepanovitch, how do you make that out? You at least might be reasonable. My aunt's grandmother gave the use of the meadows free of cost to your grandfather's peasants. The peasants lived on the land for 40 years, used it as their own, but later...
Permit me, my dear friend. You forget that your grandmother's peasants never paid because there had been a lawsuit over the meadows, and everyone knows that the meadows belong to us. You haven't looked at the map.
I'll prove to you that they belong to me.
Don't try to prove it, my dear fellow.
I will.
My good fellow, what are you shrieking about? You can't prove anything by yelling, you know. Now, I don't ask for anything that belongs to you, nor do I intend to give up anything of my own. Why should I? If it has gone so far, my dear man, that you really intend to claim the meadows, I'd rather give them to the peasants than you, and I certainly shall.
I can't believe it. By what right can you give away property that doesn't belong to you?
Really, you must allow me to decide what I am to do with my own land. And I am not accustomed, young man, to have people address me in that tone of voice. I, young man, am twice your age, and I beg you to address me respectfully.
No, you think I'm a fool. You're making fun of me. You call my property yours and then expect me to stand by quietly while talk to you like a human being? That isn't the way a good neighbor behaves, Stepen Stepanovitch. You're no neighbor. You're no better than a land grabber. That's what you are.
What did he say?
Papa, send the reapers into the meadows this minute.
What was that you said, sir?
The meadows belong to us, and I won't give them up. I won't give them up.
We'll see about that. I'll prove in court that they belong to me.
Oh, in court. You may sue in court, sir, if you like. Oh, I know you. You are only waiting to find an excuse to go to law. You're an intriguer. That's what you are. Your whole family was always looking for quarrels. The whole lot.
Kindly refrain from insulting my family. The entire race of Lomo has always been honorable, and never has one been brought to trial for embezzlement as your dear uncle was.
And the whole Lomov family were insane.
Every one of them.
Your grandmother was a dipsomaniac. And that younger aunt, Natasha, what's her name? She ran off with an architect.
And your mother limped. Oh, my side pains, my temples are bursting, Lord. Get the water.
And your dear father was a gambler and a glutton.
And your aunt was a gossip like few others.
You are an intriguer. Oh, my heart. It's an open secret that you cheated at the elections. My eyes are blurred. Where's my hat?
Oh, how low. Liar. Disgusting thing.
Where's the hat? Oh, my heart. Where shall I go? Where's the door? It seems as though I would die and I can't find my legs to hold me.
May you never darken my door again.
Bring your suit to court. We'll see.
Well, he's gone. The devil.
Such a good for nothing. And then they talk about being good neighbors.
He is a loafer. He is a scarecrow. He is a monster.
A swindler like that takes over a piece of property that doesn't belong to him and then dares to argue about it.
And to think that this fool dares to make a proposal of marriage.
What? A proposal of marriage?
Yes, he came here to make you a proposal of marriage.
Why didn't you tell me that before?
Well, that's why he had on his evening clothes. The poor fool.
Proposal for me? Oh, bring him back. Bring him back.
Bring whom back?
Faster. Faster. I'm sinking. Bring him back.
Oh, what is it? What's wrong with you? I'm cursed with bad luck. I'll shoot myself. I'll hang myself.
Oh, I'm dying. Bring him back.
In a minute. Don't bawl. I'll find him. I'll find him.
Bring him back. He's coming.
He's coming. So, the devil, you talk to him, you talk to him. The devil take him, and you talk to him yourself, because I will not, I cannot.
No, you're the cause. You haven't any manners. You are brutal. And if it weren't for you, he wouldn't have gone.
Oh, yes, I'm to blame. If I shoot myself or hang myself, remember, you'll be to blame. You forced me to it. You. Here he is. You talk to him yourself.
Oh, terrible palpitation. My leg is lame. Side hurts me.
Pardon us. We were angry. Ivan Bassiliyitch, I remember now. The meadows do belong to you.
My heart is beating terribly. My meadow My eyelids tremble. We were wrong. It was only the principle of the thing. The property isn't worth much to me, but the principle is worth a great deal.
Exactly. The principle. Now, let's talk about something else.
Well, because I have proof that my aunt's grandmother had with the peasants of your good father.
Enough. I don't know how to begin. Let's see. Are you going hunting soon?
Yes, heathcock shooting, respected Natalia Stepanovna. I expect to begin after the harvest. Oh, did you hear my dog Ugadi? You know him, he started limping.
Oh, what a shame. How did that happen?
I don't know, perhaps it's a dislocation. Maybe he was bitten by some other dog. He's the best dog I ever had, to say nothing of his price. I paid Mironov 125 rubles for him.
Oh, that was too much to pay, Ivan Bassiliyitch.
In my opinion, it was very cheap. It's a wonderful dog.
Papa paid only 85 rubles for his Okatai, and Okatai is much better than yours.
Really? Okatai is better than Ugadi? What an idea! Okatai better than Ugadi.
Really? Of course he is better. It is true Okatai is still young. He isn't full grown yet. But in the pack or on the leash with 2 or 3, there's no better than he.
I really beg your pardon, Natalia Stepanovna, but you quite overlooked the fact that he has a short lower jaw. And a dog with a short lower jaw can't snap.
Short lower jaw? That's the first time I've ever heard that.
I assure you, his lower jaw is shorter than the upper.
Have you measured it?
I have measured it. He's good at running, though.
In the first place, our Okatai is purebred, and as for your mongrel, nobody could ever figure out his pedigree. He's old and ugly and as skinny as an old hag.
Well, old, certainly, but I wouldn't take 5 of your Okatais for him. Ugadi is a dog, and Okatai is... I mean, it's laughable to argue about it. Dogs like your Okatai can be found in the dozens at any dog dealer's, whole poundful.
Ivan Bassiliyitch, you are very contrary today. First, our meadows belong to you, and then Ugadi is better than Okatai. I don't like it when a person doesn't say what he really thinks. You know perfectly well that Okatai is 100 times better than your silly Ugadi. What makes you keep on saying that he isn't?
I can see, Natalia Stepanovna, you consider me either a blind man or a fool. But at least you may as well admit that Okatai has a short lower jaw.
It isn't so.
Yes, a short lower
It's
jaw.
not so.
What makes you scream, my dear lady?
What makes you talk such nonsense is disgusting. It is high time that Ugadi.
Hey, you don't even know its name.
It's high that Ugadi was shot. And yet you compare him to Okatai.
Pardon me, but I can't carry on this argument. I have palpitations in my heart.
I have always noticed that hunters who do the most talking know the least about hunting.
My dear lady, I beg of you to be still. My heart is bursting. Be still.
I won't be still until you admit that Okatai is better.
Well, at least you know his name.
has begun again.
Papa, say frankly, on your honor, which dog is better, Okatai or Ugadi?
Stepen Stepanovitch, I beg of you, just answer this. Has your dog a short lower jaw or not? Yes or no?
And what if he has? He says it's such importance. There's no better dog in the whole country.
My Ugadi is better. Tell the truth now.
Now, don't get so excited, my dear fellow. Permit me. Your Ugadi certainly has his good points. He's from a good breed, has a good strike, strong haunches, and so forth. But the dog, if you really want to know it, has two faults. He is old, and he has a short lower jaw.
Pardon me, I have palpitations in the heart. Let us keep the facts. Just remember, in Marushkin's meadow, my Ugadi kept ear to ear with the Count and your dog.
Oh, my dog was behind because the Count struck him with his whip.
Quite right. All the other dogs are on the fox's scent, but Okatai found it necessary to bite a sheep.
That isn't so. Now, I am sensitive about that, and I beg you to drop this argument. He struck him because everybody looks on a strange dog of good blood with envy. Even you, sir, you aren't free from the sin. No sooner do you find a dog better than a Ugadi than you need to do this, that, whatever, however, whatever you say, and so forth. And I remember distinctly.
I remember something too.
I remember something too. What do you remember?
Palpitations. My leg is lame.
Oh, palpitation! What kind of hunter are you? You want to stay in the kitchen by the stove and wrestle with the potato peelings and not go fox hunting. Palpitation?
Yes, what kind of hunter are you? A man with your diseases ought to stay at home and not jolt around in the saddle. If you were a hunter, but you only ride round in order to find out about other people's dogs and make trouble for everyone. Now, I am sensitive. Let's drop the subject. Besides, you're no hunter.
You only ride around the flat of the Count. Wait, my heart. You intriguer, swindler.
What of it? He still.
Intriguer.
Baby, puppy, walking drugstore.
Old rat. Jesuit. Oh, I know
Oh,
you.
be still or I'll shoot you with my worst gun like a partridge. He's a fool. He's a loafer.
Everyone knows that. My heart. That your poor late wife beat you. My leg, my temples, heavens. I'm dying.
And your housekeeper wears the trousers in your house.
Here, there. Oh, my heart has burst. My shoulder is torn apart. Where's my shoulder? I'm dying.
Baby.
Get the doctor.
Half-baked clam, fool.
Nice sort of hunter are you. You can't even sit on a horse. Papa, what's the matter with him? Ivan Bassiliyitch, he is dead. What have we done? He is dead. The doctor, he is dead.
What is it, Natalia? What's the matter with you?
He's dead. He's dead.
Who is dead? Who? Yes. He's dead. Good God. Water. The doctor. Drink. No. He won't drink. He's dead. Oh, what a terrible situation. Why didn't I shoot myself? Why have I never cut my throat? What am I waiting for? Only give me a knife. Give me a pistol. He's coming to. Drink some water. There.
Oh, Sparks. Miss, where am I?
Get married. Quick. And then go to the devil. She's willing. She's agreed. Only leave me in peace.
What? Who?
She's willing.
He
Well,
lives.
kiss each other. and the devil take you both.
Yes, I am willing.
Kiss each other.
Very nice. Pardon me, but what is this for? Oh, yes, I understand. Oh, my heart sparks. Oh, I'm happy, Natalia Stepanovna. I'm happy. Oh, my leg is lame.
I'm happy too.
A load off my shoulders.
And now at least you'll admit that Ugadi is worse than Okakai.
Better.
No, worse.
Better.
Domestic joys have begun. Champagne. Champagne.
Better.
Champagne.
Worse.